Hi guys, my name is Owen Fine, and I'm here to tell you about the start of the NBA and how the Heat became a franchise and where they are now. So, the NBA was formed in around 1950. It started off with only a few teams, and it was successful because people wanted to see others play sports, and basketball in particular, because most other sports already had professional leagues or professional tournaments you could play in, such as like track and field with the Olympics. You had soccer with the World Cup. You had baseball too, and even American football was still going in 1950. So most other sports had a professional league besides basketball. So the NBA came into effect around 1950, and fast forward about 35 years later in the 80s, specifically 1988, 1987 and 1988, the NBA started to have talks about adding new teams. By 1985, there was 26 teams in the NBA, which is a good even number, and the expansion that the NBA talked about was up and into 30 teams, and the Miami Heat were one of those teams that were added on to the NBA. So in 1988, the Heat got brought on as an expansion team, and yeah, so the Heat have been one of the best franchises in the league since that expansion. So the playoffs in the NBA are where you want to be. It's where you play at the highest level. It's almost like the playoffs in the NFL, such as the Super Bowl. Everyone's goal is to make the final game where you play for it all. And you do that to start by first making the playoffs. The Heat have made the playoffs in 23 out of 34 years of them being a franchise, which is pretty easily the best record in the NBA, considering most teams have played or have been a part of the association for a lot longer than Miami. So it's a little more balanced, but since the Heat have come into the league, they've pretty much been like a perennial playoff team and a really good team all the time. So the Heat are one of the best franchises ever. They've won the championship 3 times out of the 34 years, which does not sound like a lot, but when you look at all the other teams' championships and however many years they've played, the balance is a lot worse than the Miami Heat. On average, that puts the Heat about winning a championship every 11 or 12 years, even though they won all 3 of them in 1 decade, which is also very, very impressive. So that was just me talking about the Miami Heat, how they got formed, the history of them, and yeah, how they're doing now. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you later.